Hello, and welcome to Kieran Cosplays ASMR. And tonight I thought I would go over a book haul that I did. The Barnes & Noble near me is moving, so everything was 50 to 75% off. And I bought too many books. I'm also a member there, so that is helped out with my payment. But I thought I would just share with you the books that I got. So, the first book I got is by Rainbow Rowell called Carry On. And let's read the back. Simon Snow is the worst chosen one who's ever been chosen. That's what his roommate Baz says. And Baz might be evil and a vampire and a complete git, but he's probably right. Half the time, Simon can't even make his wand work, and the other half, he sets something on fire. His mentor's avoiding him, his girlfriend broke up with him, and there's a magic-eating monster running around wearing Simon's face. Baz would be having a field day with all of this, if we were here. It's their last year at the Watford School of Magic, and Simon's infuriating nemesis didn't even bother to show up. Carry On is a ghost story, a love story, and a mystery. It has just as much kissing and talking as you'd expect from a Rainbow Rowell novel, but far, far more monsters. I also got the third book in the series. They didn't have the second one, but I figured this was the last copy of the third. So I figured I might as well grab the third while I was there. So hopefully when it moves, the second one will be there. Now this has everything I kind of love in a novel. Fantasy, little bit of romance, little bit of humor. Perfect. I'm very excited to get to reading it. And I hope that it will be just as good as I hope it will be. Let's get some. If you follow my ASMR Twitch streams, you know that this is one of my favorite sounds. But you can follow me on Twitch at Kieran Cosplays 98, where I do ASMR and reading of Dracula as a bedtime story. I wish I could read one of these, but copyright. Now, this one is called Light from Uncommon Stars by Rika Okoye. Now, this one I believe is more science fiction. Oh, by the way, I knew absolutely nothing about these books. They were just recommended to me as someone who loves fantasy, sci-fi, and as a queer person myself, I would prefer reading queer romances. And that's just how it is. Nothing against het romances. There's not enough queer representation in novels, so I just hoped that there was something out there and wild and maybe a little bit queer. So let's read the back of this one. Shizuka Satomi made a deal with the devil To escape damnation, she must enter service, and entice 7 other violent prodigies to trade their souls for success. She has already delivered 6. When Katrina Nguyen, a young transgender runaway, catches Sakuza's car with her wild ear with her wild talent, Sakua can almost feel the curse lifting. She's found her final candidate. But in a donut shop off a bustling highway in the San Gabriel Valley, Shikusa meets Lan Tran, a retired starship captain, interstellar refugee, and mother of 4. Shikusa doesn't have time for crushes or coffee dates, what with her very soul on the line. But Lan's kind smile and eyes like stars might just redefine a soul's worth. And maybe something as small as a warm donut is powerful enough to break a curse as vast as the California coastline. Now that kind of took my ear right away. I was very intrigued by that description, and I'm very excited to read it. Let's get some more book sounds. Now, Bonds of Brass, Book 1 of the Blood Bright trilogy. Now, this is by Emily Skrzydowski. Again, I know nothing about these books. They were just recommended to me, and I am very excited to read them. Etienne's life was shattered when the merciless Umber Empire invaded his world. He spent 7 years putting himself back together under its rule, joining an Umber military academy and becoming the best pilot in his class. Even better, he's met Gal, his exasperating and infuriatingly enticing roommate. But when their classmates spring an assassination plot on Gal, a devastating secret comes to light. Gal is the heir to the Umber Empire. Etienne saves his best friend and flees the compromised academy unscathed. But now he faces a terrible choice. Does he protect the man who's won his heart and trust that Gal's goodness can transform a cruel empire? Or join the brewing rebellion and fight to take back what's rightfully theirs? As someone who loves Star Wars, this little sci-fi and rebellion whole thing makes me very excited to read it. I'm so ready. Kind of the description is reminding me a little bit of Star Wars Rebels. I don't know why, but it just kind of does. I'll save this one for last. And then this one was actually, this is the one thing that I do know a little bit about. This one was recommended to me by a friend, and it's called Lore Olympus, and it is a webtoon that was made into a book. And I'm very excited to read it. And let's read the back. Oh, there is no back, but maybe it's on the inside. Scandalous gossip, wild parties, and forbidden love. Witness what the gods do after dark in the stylish and contemporary reimagining of one of mythology's best-known stories from Rachel Smythe. Persephone, young goddess of spring, is new to Olympus. Her mother Demeter has raised her in the mortal realm, but after Persephone promises to train as a sacred virgin, she's allowed to live in the fast-moving, glamorous world of the gods. When her roommate, Artemis, takes her to a party, her entire life changes. She ends up meeting Hades and feels an immediate spark with the charming yet misunderstood ruler of the underworld. Now Persephone must navigate the confusing politics and relationships that rule Olympus, while also figuring out her own place and her own power. Now, that seems very interesting indeed. As someone who adores Greek mythology, this is going to be a rather interesting one. And it kind of gives me Percy Jackson vibes, except instead of focusing on the demigod children, it focuses on the gods themselves. And I'm very, very interested to read it. So let's get a little bit of this page flipping. And now for the last book that I got. So I'm learning, if you can't tell by my Mandarin videos that I've posted, I got Essential Mandarin Chinese Grammar. I've been using a mixture of books and apps to learn the language. Hello Chinese has been my favorite app thus far, and this is going to be a book that will definitely help with my grammar. And so far I found the grammar to be, I wouldn't say easy, but it is relatively simple to learn. I find it a lot easier than Korean grammar. Don't know why, I just do. But having this book will hopefully help me a lot. And the last thing I got was actually this Fennec Shand Funko Pop. I don't know if you can tell, but I have a little collection of Funko Pops, and it kind of started off just as a, oh, that's kind of cute. I know there's like, excuse me, the meme of like, oh, Funko Pops are kind of cringe, but I think they're cute. And I love Fennec Shand. She's one of my favorite Star Wars characters. I especially love her in The Bad Batch, and I'm kind of hoping she makes a return for season 2. And yeah, that's about it for my little bookstore haul. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have